Press Start Podcast.
And welcome back to the Press Start Podcast. This is episode number 138, and I'm your host, Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin'. And this week, I do welcome back my co-host, Roger, aka Lunatic Oblivion. What's up, my friend?
Hey guys, and a lot of news out here, just not gaming news, really.
Yeah, right. I mean, our country's going through it right now, but as everyone can see, no Scott this week. I traded off Roger for Scott this week, and it is due to some good news, and I'll let him celebrate that when he does return. But nonetheless, Roger, how you been, man, over the past 2 weeks?
Doing all right, just the grind, dude. Especially with Microsoft shitting the bed on Friday. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to
Working
hear
in
about that.
IT.
How'd that go, and like, what was it like
But-
dealing with that?
Like, we don't use CrowdStrike, but we were still hit with like Microsoft just like down, like cloud services through the state of PA was just like not working, and it ate us, man. We couldn't work on VPN, we couldn't work from VDI because everything leaving the building going to Microsoft just didn't work.
Yeah.
And, it
And if I'm not mistaken, you guys just switched over to the Azure cloud and all that stuff recently, right? Or within the last year? Or two?
no, we've swapped over to O365 a few years back, but
Yeah.
like we've been in the cloud for a while. It's just we're hinging more and more off of it every day.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy thing. Like, I was looking into some stats, right? It affected 8.5 million PC users or Windows users, and that's only 1% of the amount of Windows users. And I was like, and it did that much impact to the world. Like the whole world basically was like in a oh shit moment. Like all the airlines were being shut down. I know like in London, like a lot of their train system had to be shut down because of it. So it's like, man, imagine even if it affected say 10% of the user base, like how much more damage it would have costed. Oh man.
Yeah, no, that's a lost contract right there. They are CrowdStrike. Who's CrowdStrike?
Yeah, I'm sure there would be some kind of lawsuit because of the amount of damages that would have been caused from it.
Oh, yeah, they are dunzos, man.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it didn't really affect too much gaming. I know I was still able to play my Xbox during it and whatnot. Hey, shout out Scobie1 for coming through. It didn't affect Spirit Airlines. CrowdStrike isn't compatible with Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that shit worked. But nonetheless, though, Roger, let's talk about what we've been playing. Actually, just real quick before we kick it off, but like, are you surprised with the list that I have put together? Because I feel like my list this week is probably the most like random list of games.
Honestly, it doesn't have anything really like your normal staples, and it's interesting to see because it's a wide variety of games, which is something that I used to do a lot. And now I'm just falling into that trap where I'm like, same game every day. I'm just gonna keep playing. Like I'm on the grind set. And you clearly have visited a lot of games, so I see you beat Return to Grace.
Yeah,
What
man.
did you think of Return to Grace?
Yeah, man, that was actually a really enjoyable experience. It's another game that I was able to check out on Game Pass. I was kind of looking for a really quick experience, like a 3, maybe 4 hour game at most, just so I can add to my list. And I loaded and looked it up on how long to beat. I was like, oh, about 3 hours, whatever. I think I beat it in like a little over 2. But it was a really compelling story because the idea is like this set is set like in the year of like 3000 something. So humanity has like really progressed like space travel, and they've reached to other solar systems. But what propelled them was the advancement in AI called Grace. But after like there was a year, like a 1,000-year gap where Grace went down and was no longer accessible, and it was because it was based off of like one of the moons in Jupiter, and like you're on this like you're an explorer, and like you go to this moon, you're hoping to like learn more about what happened to Grace, and like you go in there and your AI gets taken over by the AI that's in there already, and Grace's AI was split into multiple personalities of its AI, and like you basically unify them in different ways, and like you find this compelling story that like this AI was worked hand in hand with called the Keeper, and it was like this one person that was chosen by like out of like hundreds or thousands of people that were on this an inhabitant area, and like you realize that you eventually become the new Keeper, and like I'm just spoiling it. I mean, this game's pretty old at this point, but like you basically get Grace back together and you become the new Keeper, and like, but there's 3 different endings that can happen in the game. Mine was like a unified, and I didn't side with the evil part of the AI that could have happened. But yeah, I returned Grace and end up becoming a Keeper and staying there for all of eternity, I guess, until I die, because that's basically your life now. But yeah, overall, it was a really cool story. Very simplistic puzzles. a lot of storytelling too. Like there was different lore that you can pick up, investigate, and you really got awarded for checking, exploring too, which was awesome. So really quick experience, a fun game, really enjoyable, and it looked really good too. Like the graphics was top notch, and that's always a huge benefit for me. It's on Game Pass. I don't know how much longer it'll be on there because they wrote two games through relatively quickly. But
Yeah.
let's speaking about Game Pass though, you looks like you picked up Lords of the Fallen, which I know was recently added to Game Pass. I know this is probably why you were able to check it out, and this is a really long game. That's why I have not checked this out. This one can take 40 to 60 hours to beat, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't have the time
And
to play that game.
and the thing is, like, I'm not playing it solo. I'm playing it with Disney, and
Mm.
uh, it's her first Souls-like game.
Oh,
And honestly, she's gotten really good really fast, and like her biggest issue is just like getting into spamming attacks and
hmm,
not like, self-preservation for a minute.
yeah,
But like it's honestly been super fun to just play a Souls-like game with Jordan. And I honestly think this is a great Souls-like game. I think the multiplayer, the fact that like it has so much ability to do multiplayer, but does it really poorly, and
yeah,
that's what's killing it for me. Like Jordan can't make any progress in the game except leveling up and buying stuff. So she misses out on a lot of these like items that you find along the way. Like we walk up, oh, here's an item on the ground. She can't see it, so she can't collect it.
oh wow, that's a
Yeah.
bit weird. I wonder if it's kind of like one of those games that's meant to be played solo, but you can like hop in and help your friend out, get through the game
Yeah.
and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's kind of how like Elden Ring works because like you can have someone hop into your
Hmm.
game and help you defeat the boss, and then like move on. Also, real quick, like how's the mechanic of like switching between like the two worlds? Like I know like when you die, you go into the afterlife or
Seamless.
whatever. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Fucking seamless. It I have yet to find one that is as good as this one is, because like you pull up the lantern, you're just like you can see everything in both worlds at
At the same
you
time.
just you move like this and it literally just changes the world. And like as you pull up your lantern, everything in the other world will start toggling to attack you. And if you're accidentally standing next to something, it will literally grab you from hell, like purgatory, and pull you in.
Yeah.
And so like if you get hit while you have your lantern out, you get pulled into purgatory until you jump back out again.
Yeah, I always thought that was a pretty unique mechanic. It reminded me of the game The Medium because that game used to render like two worlds, like hell and then like what the real world, and like you could play back and forth, and like what you did in one world would affect the other world, and it kind of has a
Hmm.
similar concept, just on a much more of a massive scale, and it's running in Unreal Engine 5 as well. So it's definitely a, a bigger game. I want to get to it. I have the OG Lords of the Fallen, which came out in like 2014. Never played that, but I know that this game is like a whole nother level to the experience, and it looked good. Like when we were covering its upcoming release and whatnot, when it finally came out, I
Hmm.
was like, yeah, it looks great. I wasn't going to pick it up right away just because of what I'm trying to accomplish right now, but it has been recently
And
added to my games to play in the future, aka next
and
year.
it's a fun game. It's just I wouldn't have paid the money for it, I think. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it's super fun, but like Game Pass, I wasn't gonna buy two copies. I'd have been playing alone and not with Disney. And honestly, it's a godsend that it is, because I was like, oh, here she can try a Souls-like game. Maybe she likes the genre. Maybe she's a glutton for punishment. And turns out she loves Souls-likes all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Like
I mean it's a
it was
different
cool.
palette. It's a way different
Mhm.
type of game than what she's used to. So, yeah, I mean even like my first one with Liza P being my true first one, like that was a completely different change of pace. And I'm not gonna lie, there's some days where I'm like, man, I miss kind of playing a Souls game, and then I'm like, I really don't feel like dying 100 times today. Like I just don't. So it's like that love hate relationship for Souls games, which
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about one a little bit later on. But man, I really want to talk about um Dungeons of Hinterberg. It's the game that I'm currently playing. It's a game that was recently
Mhm.
added to Game Pass, just came out day one, and this is a really, really enjoyable game. Like the aesthetics are fucking mind blowing. Like the color palette they use, the design. I'm not a big fan of the main character's face, but the main character for everyone else, or the face for everyone else, seems pretty good. But the idea is there's this like town in Austria, Hinterberg. It's a fictional town. Magic
Mhm.
kind of like appeared in it, created like these 20 or 25 dungeons, and it became like this big tourist area. Like people like go out of their way to explore this area just so they can fight demons or monsters and stuff like that. But like what's unique about it is like it's broken up into like four areas, and each time you go to an area, you have to learn these like special moves, and these
Hmm.
special moves only work in this specific area. So like if I leave that area and go to the other one, those moves don't come with me. And like a lot of moves kind of also they're not only are they attack moves, but they're also like puzzle like mechanics as well. And it's a pretty cool balance. And right now I'm getting through like 2 or 3 dungeons like per playthrough, and that's about an hour and a half. And there's about 20 or 25. So in the end, it'll probably be, they said it's about a 20-hour experience, and I
Hmm.
think I'm gonna get through relatively quickly. But the other side of the game is like it's broken up into like day and night cycles, where like every time you go to sleep and you wake up, it says day 6, day 7, whatever. But like each day is broken up to morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And like morning is like you're kind of talking to your friend, and then like the afternoon you're going to do your dungeon or just explore, because there's like relaxation points that you can build up like your HP or meditate and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Or you can collect different like equipment in that area, or you can go do a dungeon. But once you do a dungeon and then you leave, you complete the dungeon, then you go back to
The
town and
game
you,
progresses.
no, not even, you go back to town, and then now you can go to different shops and like buy items or potions and stuff like that. But if you don't want to do that, you can actually go build relationships. So now there's like this like sim kind of feel where you're trying to build relationships
A
with
visual novel.
different people of the town. And like by building your relationship with these people unlocks different like mechanics of the game, or new abilities, or increase to like HP or your MP. Like even the one, I had to build a friendship um with the one guy to get the photo mode unlocked. Like it unlocks like certain aspects of the game, even like that. So it's like a really in-depth game, and I highly recommend it. Like this game is really really fun. I know Phil hopped in a few times to my stream and was watching me, but combat, it seems really easy. Like you have like a heavy attack, you have a basic attack, but then you have like your ranged attack, and then like your special ability that you unlock from getting the new skills. And then like being able to use potions, it's really quick. You just it just it's very seamless. But like when you get into combat, it like locks you into a zone, and you can only
Hmm.
fight in that specific zone. So overall, great experience. I know it seems like a game that you actually might enjoy as well. So maybe you can give that a go and let me know what
Hmm.
you thought. But let's talk about a game that you've been playing as well. What is Nordland? This is a new game here on your list here.
Yeah, so after Manor Kings came out, or Manor Lords came out a while back, there was another game being floated around called Nordlands. So it's essentially it's the same developer, Hooded Horse. They decided, since they did so well with Manor Lords, that they were going to release this game afterwards. It's a just a normal strategy game. It is lead your noble family in the medieval colony sim, facing off against class conflict, religious struggles, and political treachery. So it's like RimWorld almost, but there's a giant map and stuff that you play on, and there's, politics. You try to raise your family, your clan, to deal with this the fall of a great what would you call it, a great empire. And so you're kind of trying to deal with reunifying the land once again.
Yeah. So overall, it's been an enjoyable experience. Is this a game you plan to play for a little bit, or as long as it has?
It has its issues so far, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Is it a game? Is it in like game preview, early access?
Hmm. It's
Yeah,
early access still,
yeah.
but I'm
Unfortunately,
excited to see how it shapes up.
right. Which, speaking about early access, I finally dove into Lightyear Frontier, which we were talking in the pre-show that it's an early access. Kind of has an ending right now, kind of doesn't. You beat what the game had to offer. I finally hopped into it, and I was like, man, I just want to have like that turn your brain off like sim like farming game, and it's actually been a
Hmm.
fun experience. Like it takes like different elements from a lot of the games and scavenging the resources, but I love like having that mech. It's pretty cool what you can do with it and travel around, and like I love how it like throws you right into the world, and like you have to go around and collect all parts. And then like you have to clear out certain areas, but then there's like the exploration in it too. Like you like find different artifacts and like historical sites that you're trying to like, what was this? And then like
Hmm.
once you complete the area, it's like, oh, like the first one I did was like, oh, you this was a dam a long time ago, and it's not anymore. But yeah, overall it's been a really fun experience, and a game that I probably would not have checked out if it was not for Game Pass. as always.
Exactly.
But I remember when this game first was announced, we were kind of following it. We were like, man, what is this? And then we finally figured out, like, oh, it's just another like farming survival kind of game. We're like, I don't know. And overall, it's a fun experience. Let's talk about another fun experience here for me, and that is college football 2025. This is the big game in the news. Everybody is playing this game. There are people hitting me up left and right trying to play against me. I haven't played against anybody yet, but there's a lot of people that I didn't even know were gamers are playing this game and picking it up. And it's the return of college football, man. Like, we haven't had a college football game since 2013 when it was college football 14, and I was at Shippensburg when that game was out, and I used to play the shit out of that. I used to have my dorm room open, have friends over, random people coming in, like, "Oh, you playing college football? Yeah, sit down. Come on, we're gonna run the sticks up." It's been an overall great experience. I haven't bought Madden in the last few years, so it almost has like a very Madden like feel. But I'm gonna wait until Madden 25 comes out to make that comparison and then see. They're both from the same developer, so like there is going to be a lot of similarities. I mean, it's football. Like, football is football, but like you can feel like when a like college teams are different because like you are going to have players that are like a 60 overall, 70 overall. Like Madden, you don't necessarily have a lot of those players, or even if they do, they're not really in the game. So like you could see the night and day difference when one team actually has a couple of superstars. Like, those are superstars and they really stand out. Where in the NFL, they're all average players more or less because they're all pros, so it's a different feeling. I only played one exhibition game against the computer. I won that one. It was actually a pretty tough one against the computer, but I've been playing Ultimate Team, and that's where you open up cards, like packs of cards, and you build your team and do different challenges, playing seasons, do head to head stuff like that. So that's been a fun experience. But eager to check out online play, which we're going to cover a lot of the statistics later in this game. But this game it's making money. It's printing money left and right.
I mean, most of these sports games do. It's
This one's bad though.
People are
it's crazy. But any other game on your list that you wanted to talk about before I talk about one last one here on my list?
No, excited to see Satisfactory get its 1.0 next month, or not next month, in September.
Mm-hmm.
So was playing that, kind of put that on hold because I'm excited for the 1.0 and I don't know what it's going to change, so I don't want to like get too invested and then have to like turn around and not really, do much with it. Like, I don't want to have to restart from scratch all over again. But no, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. So, last one on the list that I wanted to cover for me was Star Wars Hunters. This is a game that it's only available on the Switch and then mobile. So it's a 4v4 like hero shooter, but set in the Star Wars universe. It's not bad. Like, I picked it up on the Switch and I've been playing it at work, in my downtime, and it's been a really enjoyable experience. Like, I've been whooping ass in the game, but I literally had to send out a tweet to Zynga, the developer behind it, because I was like, how do I know if I'm playing against bots or if I'm playing against real people? Because I really feel like if these are real people, these people are really garbage at the game. Because there's a lot of games where like I'll have like 10, 15, 20 kills and like the next person period in the entire game has like 2. And I'm like, and then if I play domination, we're winning like 100-0. And I'm like, this doesn't feel like a game that has any competition at all. But I mean, maybe that's just, maybe people are struggling with this game, and I'm just not, or I'm trying to figure out if I'm playing against bots or not. That's the biggest issue. Haven't heard anything back, but hopefully I can get some confirmation on it. But yeah, overall, it's been a fun experience. Like, there's tons of different heroes that you can unlock, but it's a very like microtransaction heavy game. Like, there's a battle pass, there's a store, like you get bombarded with ads like left and right in the game, like for these different things in the store, and I'm like, I just want to play the game. There's just too much like challenges and all this extra stuff to do, and I'm like, can I just play the game, please? I just want to play the game. Stop popping shit up. Like, it's just, but the tutorial does really well explaining like what all the different things are. But if you're ever looking for a proper pooper mobile shooter game, or even on your Switch, yeah, check it out. It's fun. It's free to play. But yeah, man, that's all the games that we've been playing this week. Were there any games coming out this week that you were looking forward to at all?
I don't know about coming out this week per se, but coming out last week and now are on Game Pass. There's quite a few that are looking pretty interesting. Like last week was the week for Game Pass. Like I just
Sure was.
added Kinitsugami to my install. Um, like there's Flintlock, Magical Delicacy that looks good.
Yeah.
Um,
You and
Tachia, I think
yeah,
got
Tachia. Yep, Tachia looks really good. But yeah, I'm really because I played. You weren't on the podcast when I talked about the demo of
mhm,
Kunitsugami, and like I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on that game. I played the demo. I downloaded the actual game, but I haven't played it yet because I just got a lot going on right now with game wise.
mhm,
But I'm cannot wait to play that game. Like that game is a lot of fun, and I love like the mixture of like the style of game it is. Like there's strategy, there's like it feels like top down in some points. There's like tower defense in areas. Like it's just it's a really enjoyable game, and I'm really eager to hear what you have to say about it. But yeah, the Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn looks really good. It's kind of like a Souls light game. Like it has a lot of Souls mechanics in the game. Like when you die, you have to go pick up like your experience points or whatever, like that kind of stuff. But it has a lot of
mhm.
RPG. Like it's heavy into the RPG action RPG category. So yeah, that looks good. I know a game that you and Jordan might actually enjoy that was recently added to was Flock. I just downloaded that. I plan to play that. It's again another 4 hour experience apparently, and you literally just fly around on this like magical planet, and you're trying to build up your flock of like these like
Mhm.
alien flying creatures. Like it looks very like very chill and majestic, and you're just like turn brain off, fly around. Okay, you want to join? Come on. Like I don't even know what the story like how it plays into a story, but I know that game looks really good. But yeah, man, a lot of games been coming out lately,
Yeah,
especially our
there's
Game
quite a
Pass.
few things. Like Robin Hood looks really good. That
Mm-hmm.
came out a while ago. Like this month has got some good additions. Like Journey to the Savage Planet is a co-op
Yeah,
game that looks
that looks
pretty
good.
good.
I downloaded that's downloaded on my Xbox. I'm waiting to play that. Yeah, man. And I heard it's not Game Pass related, and I know Scott has been playing it, but Once Human just came out earlier this month on the 9th for PC, and that's again like another survival game, and but
Mhm.
it looks really really good, and it's doing really well
I
apparently.
I saw it wasn't doing well at all, but I guess it's now making a okay. It's it's teetering
Yeah.
on mixed. It's like at 70%. And I thought about playing it, but when I went to go install it when it came out a few weeks back, it was sitting at like 50 or less percent liked. And I was like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on checking it out. I downloaded it the other day, so I'm probably hop on with Scott or even you if you want to run it because it's like multiplayer as well. Um, maybe we
And
can.
like they every 6 weeks they wipe out all of your experience and all of your items, and all you get to keep is blueprints that you've earned.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah, so like
I just love the aesthetic, like the idea of the game looks really cool.
yeah. And like, there's player buildings all over the place, and like they said people are saying like the quests aren't very flushed out, and so I'm worried that it's gonna be a flop
Hmm.
as it's just another live service game, I hate to say.
Oh, it is. I mean, this is a game that's going to
So
just get better over time. Like maybe right now might not be the best time to play
unless
the
they
game.
just unless they delete the game,
Yeah, right.
which
Hopefully
happens with
not.
so many live service games.
Hopefully not. But yeah, man, that's all. That's everything that we've been playing or looking forward to playing over the next couple weeks here. But let's go ahead and move on and talk about the industry news that we got for you guys. All right, man. Oops, clicked on the wrong there. But kicking off here with Xbox related industry news. First off, this is actually big time news here because Bethesda Game Studio, as you guys are probably looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm looking like up but I have a new layout. Like I have my big monitor above my two smaller monitors finally. But yeah, Bethesda Game Studios has become made history by becoming fully unionized. It is the first Microsoft studio to unionize, having joined forces under the CWA banner fully. And I'm just reading here from the article from Insider Gaming. It says it was confirmed that workers at Bethesda Game Studios, Dallas, Rockville, and Austin studios have formed a wall-to-wall union, and Microsoft has formally recognized this union. And presently, there is no conflict. So big time here, especially in the day and age of how everything's been going in the gaming industry,
Mhm.
especially with layoffs. Like I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to unions and how they work and how they can maybe potentially protect people from like layoffs and maybe, but I don't know how that works, but it'll definitely protect from the toxicity as well. So big time news there. Some sad news here, but hopefully good news in the end. But Paramount Plus has canceled the Halo TV series after 2 seasons, but the writers and showrunners are looking for a new home. This is the interesting part here. Christopher Nolan, one of the most renowned directors, has reached out to HBO Max to see if he can strike a deal and become the lead person behind the show. And I'm like, if that mastermind can take over Halo and turn Halo into what Halo should be, we could probably get one of the greatest TV shows of all time if the pieces come together and they do the right thing. But yeah, sad to see that the series has been canceled after 2 years, because it was starting to go in the right direction. It was getting to where it needed to be, and it was really leading up to the first game. And I'm just like, man, this game could be like this show could be really good. But yeah, Paramount Plus was like, yeah, we're not excited with the results. But hey, what can you expect when you veer so far away from what Halo is?
Yeah, it was a pretty big flop. Like, honestly, the first season not really having much in the way of like interaction with where the story actually went afterwards.
Right. Yeah, the second season was like tenfold better. Like it was crazy. But we'll see. But Roger, what's going on over in NetherRealm?
Yeah, so NetherRealm, the developer behind Mortal Kombat, is not getting hit with layoffs, but creating layoffs. They are, in fact, themselves laying off their team. The entire mobile team gone. Shit canned them, all of them.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's 50 developer jobs out.
Yeah, apparently with this update with layoffs, it puts us closer to about 11,000 developers that have been laid off this year. It's a lot of people.
Looks good for the industry, my friend. Them job numbers are gone.
It's absolutely insane. But I mean, to be fair, in a sense, I can't think of any mobile game that came from NetherRealm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like this is one of those layoffs where like, oh, like they had a mobile market. Okay, makes sense that they got rid of it.
Yeah,
but like
they had Mortal
a bunch
Kombat
of the other
Onslaught
layoffs lately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. Like I don't. Oh, Injustice 2 mobile. Like they had a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense to be on mobile. Mortal Kombat mobile. Okay. Yeah. Batman Arkham City Lockdown for mobile. Yeah, not
So
much.
a bunch of Warner Brother live service flops.
Yeah, they were just trying to hop on the train, and the train already left the station.
Where'd the train go? What train? Gravy train never existed, bro.
Yeah, that's tough.
Uh,
But yeah, man, that's all the industry news that we got for you guys this week. It is another quiet week in regards to gaming overall. It's just a lot of releases coming out, kind of the calm before the storm still, because we got Gamescom about a month away. So that's when stuff is really going to start kicking off. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on to the gaming news. All right, guys, kicking it off here with some Xbox related news. First off, they have landed a console exclusive Orcs Must Die Death Trap, and it will be released on console and PC in 2025. As I get the trailer up on screen here for everybody to check out. Roger, did you check out any of the previous Orcs Must Die games?
yeah, like all of them.
Like all of them, yeah. I figured that this was up your
Disney
alley.
and I play them actually. We played Orcs Must Die 1 and 2, I think, together, and then we were recently playing the newest one that was on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun series. I truly enjoy it. It reminds us of one of the first games that the original game in this genre, which was Dungeon Defenders, I believe, was the big one that kind of came out during the 20-aughts, like 2012, 2013. I was playing that before college. Then when I met Jordan, it's one of the first games that we actually ever played was this kind of genre, and then we ended up picking up Orcs Must Die years later.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And I would assume like it's almost like a safe bet that this will probably come to Game Pass, but the fact that it's not coming out till 2025, they're probably going to wait to announce that part of it. But pretty cool to see that there's another entry on the way to seems like a really fun game, and a game that's been doing well. Obviously, it has to be doing well enough if it is bringing on a
4 or 5 games in now.
Yeah. So that's dope to see there. But moving on to other Xbox related news, they have integrated NVIDIA GeForce Now into the Xbox game pages on PC. So that's pretty cool. So, like, when you guess you can load up and you're doing like the cloud streaming part of the Xbox gaming stuff, like, you can choose, like, if you want to do it like Xbox servers or if you want to go through the NVIDIA GeForce. And it's really important to think about because, like, I think overall Nvidia has a better cloud system right now, like because they're
Hmm.
running theirs at on like the 4080 or the 4090 cards, where like the Xbox is kind of running either on the Series S or the X, but you're not sure which one that you're really playing on at the time, and they're still dealing with a lot of latency issues where like Nvidia is not perfect when it comes to latency because there will always be latency until they can figure something out. Like, I think it's either Luna or Google Stadia had it best. Like, if you're able to have the controller directly connected via Wi-Fi or like the internet as opposed to Bluetooth, that will help tenfold when it comes to the latency issues. But pretty cool to see that you do have options, and Xbox is just working really good with a lot of these cloud developers and kind of following up on what they kind of promised with the whole FTC court case.
Hmm.
But moving on though to Xbox related games, this is Call of Duty. You're gonna hear me talk for a lot here because before we get to season 5, Black Ops 6 beta dates have been revealed for early access on August 30th through September 4th. Then you get like a day break because on the 6th, open beta is available for 3 days. But we also got to think about the exciting part here is that everybody on all platforms will be able to play the beta at the same time. There's no like timed exclusive betas like before, bringing everybody together, play the game at the same time. So that's a
Hmm.
great start there. Next up, though, for season 5, I'm gonna get the trailer up just so we can check that out a while. This one seems pretty cool, but it's just like I don't know if it's enough to really bring me back. But what's cool about it is like they're bringing in like a crossover with WWE, which is something out of left field. I guess WWE is on the uppity up. I know like Shoot to Win is hardcore into it right now. Like we have a whole podcast behind it. They go to all the events, like the local events as much as they can. And I know that they're big time into it, so I know they're really pumped for this. But Roger, would this be enough average for you to dive back into Call of Duty because of WWE?
No.
Nah.
I'm not a WWE guy.
Yeah, me either. I haven't been. I remember watching it like when my dad used to have it on TV and I was a kid, and I was just like, "What is this?" And I come to like realize that, like it's all just fake. Like it's just I used to call it like a male soap opera.
Pageantry.
Yeah, like
It is a male soap opera,
it's
and
really just
and
scripted.
there's nothing wrong with the people who like it. It's just
Yeah,
not my speed.
yeah, definitely agree. What's cool though, I love these like cell shaded maps that they're coming out with, which I'll talk
Hmm.
about here in a little bit. Obviously, it's heavy Borderlands vibes, and that shit's funny when you're in the rink and you're doing those WWE finishers. Great times there. And before we move on to that, I do got the one more trailer to showcase, and that is the exciting news that the Atlas Superstore is returning. This is a POI from the Verdansk map that everybody loved, and this is like a funny comedy sketch. You can catch it on like Twitter and whatnot, but eh, they're adding it to Urzikstan, the big regular map, but it's I guess this is giving us like a piece or a taste of what we have to look forward to Verdansk. It was supposed to release with the release of Black Ops 6, but it's not looking like that. It's getting delayed by a few months, so I guess they're just going to drip feed everything to us in the old map. But yeah, awesome to see there that they're bringing one of the hottest drop zones in on from that map into that game. But let's go ahead and talk about the details. First up for multiplayer, let me get this shit down here so I can see a little bit better. Um, Multiplayer, you get 2 new maps, 6v6 maps. You get Bait and Yard, and then you get 3 variant maps: Cell Ship, Tune Oxide, and Ink House, which are just different versions of Shipment, Rust, and Meat House. And then next up, you get new modes: Slam Deathmatch. This actually seems pretty cool, and everyone can't see because I covered up the camera somehow. Fucking hate how Discord works sometimes. But the Slam Deathmatch is really interesting, just because of the when you kill somebody, they get knocked, and for you to actually score a point like towards like the team deathmatch total, you actually go up and have to do a finishing move. But the finishing move is like a move from the WWE. So cool concept there. Then you got arcade playlist, which is like Call of Duty Warrior, where like it's gonna rotate through a ton of
Hmm.
different like mini games within it. Trying to bring it up here again. Which seemed pretty cool because there was like 15 different mini games. Like you got beat up the car. So round time is 60 seconds. Each team spawns in with a sledgehammer and a vehicle, and the first team to destroy their car wins. Like they got little game modes like this. Then you got breacher ball. Round time 60 second. All operators are provided with an unlimited breacher drone as their only armament and survive to win. um let's see, like there's a ton of these things, man. Like it's pretty crazy. uh don't fire. Round time 15 seconds. Listen closely. In this variant, everyone spawns in a circle with the TYR handgun equipped. Anyone who shoots, however, will die on the spot. Survive to win. So yeah, there's like a whole list, like 15, 20 different game modes that they're gonna be piling on there. And then you got fish infection, which is pretty unique because this one like you're going to be avoiding the hook and a slippery twist on infected, equipped with only the compound bow and a spear as your weapons in fish infection, where it's your goal to prevent getting eliminated by a bloodthirsty school of fish operators composed of previously fallen players. Then also we're getting a paintball game mode where it says predominantly played on small maps in modes like capture the flag and kill confirm, giving players increased movement abilities for the duration of the mode. It replaces all bullet impact with paint splatter, and every weapon is one shot kill, so take cover behind a bunker of choice and get ready for some quick action painting. And then last but not least, we get a new game mode called Diffuse or Destroy. It's basically search and destroy, and it's round based objective, and teams take turns attacking and defending bomb sites. The twist: the mode's round starts with a bomb already planted in one of the two possible locations, putting a literal ticking time bomb into play as teams alternate to defend and defuse. So it's a pretty cool concept because now you have to figure out which site it's planted on, and then also go to defuse that bomb. But it's also round based, so like your risk on dying. As soon as you die, that's it. GG's. So we'll see how that hangs out. We're also getting a new tactical equipment. We're getting the EMP grenade. Awesome. It's so crazy because like X Defiant has this already, the EMP grenade, and it was like the most used equipment in the game, and everyone loves using it. Call of Duty was like, oh really? Can we borrow your homework?
Really? You like this, do you?
Can we borrow your homework? We're just not going to change anything
Man,
of it.
just make sure it doesn't look the same, you know?
So yeah, I was like, man, what the hell? We're also getting 4 new weapons. We're getting the static HV, which is a submachine gun. We're getting the return of the STG from like the World War II Vanguard games. We're getting the spear, which was aforementioned. So it's like a melee weapon that you can actually throw. Then you get the Torque 35, which is the compound bow. There are 6 new aftermarket parts, new bundles, battle pass, black sale, and new ranked rewards. Then next up for Modern Warfare Zombies, there is the final story mission, new Dark Aether Rift, new secrets and schematics to unlock. And then for Warzone, you get the new point of interest, which is the that superstore, the Atlas Superstore. With that Superstore Resurgence, so the map is going to be really just that, and you're just going to keep spawning into the Superstore. And then there's also Supreme Resurgence, 2 new public events, the Bounty Contest and Recon Flyover, and a new feature, the Redeployed Drone Beacon, aka the RDB, and also Elite Contracts, which just gives you like more rewards for doing the exact same contracts already. But yeah, man, that is Call of Duty Season 5. Roger, you returning to the grind in Call of Duty?
Nah, bro. Not enough people to play.
Yeah,
I'd rather sit here and play with Disney on a game that we both want to play while Carl's taking a nap.
hell yeah. I haven't touched Call of Duty since X Defiant dropped. Like I've just been playing the shit out of X Defiant, trying to grind out all the guns, get all the attachments, and unlock all the different skins and whatnot. So yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, man, that's all the Xbox news I got for you this week. What's happening over in the PlayStation realm?
Yeah, so let's talk about PlayStation. For some reason in Turkey, they decided that games now cost 85 USD equivalency, which is kind of like a weird price point for just Turkey.
Right. I'm curious why that happened.
Yeah. So, it's a weird spot to be the only spot in the world that gets that $85 price tag right now. But following that, we have some good news coming out of Baldur's Gate. Official mod support and the patch 7 are to be released in September, which is pretty cool. You know, this game is going to go absolutely batshit once modders get a hold of it. You can guarantee it.
Yeah. I can only imagine what's going to happen.
Yeah. But other interesting news: Dead by Daylight is still a game that exists for some reason, and that game is now getting a single-player spin-off game called The Casting of Frank Stone. You have the trailer here, so I'll let people watch that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see like how this plays out as like a single player game. I've never
Hmm.
checked out like the multiplayer Dead by Daylight, and I know a lot of people enjoy it. There's been a lot of like crossover with characters and whatnot. I mean, how we even had Nicolas Cage in there playing as Nicolas Cage, like not even as like a specific character. I think they're also getting like Lara Croft here soon from Tomb Raider. So like they have a wide range of different crossovers. But to see like a
Hmm.
single player game, I think could be told really well. But yeah, I mean it's another horror game. So I know you've been lately enjoying the horror genre. Doesn't scare you as much as it once used to.
Yeah, it's honestly horror's fun. The thing that gets me is jump scares. Like I'll be playing Lords of the Fallen and I'm just sitting there talking to Jordan like, "Yeah, we're going to head over there. We'll go that way and we'll try to go up here." And then I turn around and there's a dude just like two axes ready to fuck and I'm just like, "Oh,
Like oh shit.
fuck." Scream a little bit, wake Carl up 2 floors higher than me now.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I was watching the baseball game here on my computer last night, and I got excited because the Red Sox scored a run. I was like, "Let's go!" Or you like yelled, and my daughter was sleeping behind me, and I guess like startled her. I was like, "Fuck!"
Oh, big
Whoops,
L, my friend.
whoops.
Big L.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the
But
casting of Frank Stone.
so lastly, we got what's going on with No Man's Sky.
Yeah, man. What is going on with No Man's Sky? The game is still around, dude. The game is not dead. It's far from it. It basically just got a complete overhaul with this new Worlds Part 1 update. Basically, they're taking the tech from their new game Light No Fire and they're bringing it back and implementing it into No Man's Sky. And they're just overhauling the world. Like the water alone is night and day different. Like the water that was in the game looked very just like not
Not like
detailed.
water.
It didn't look like water. It didn't really have much mechanics or physics to it. Where like in this game, like the water looks real. The world looks more vibrant. There's more like variety of the world design, more different creatures. I mean, this game to see where it has come from 2016 to 2024 is just it's mind-boggling. It makes
Well,
me
I
like it's
mean,
crazy.
if a game that like a playable game couldn't become, amazing in 8 years, then maybe the project wasn't meant to be.
Right. But this is crazy to think about like the yearly updates that we get for or
Hmm.
in multiple updates sometimes in a year, and it's just like this is really impressive, and the fact that they're still working so in depth in this game while they also have that other game in the works that's supposed to be coming out soon. Um yeah. And the fact that they added like the Starship Troopers kind of game mode or like Hell Divers I mean, it looks dope. Like, why not try and capture that excitement, especially with Helldivers kind of like falling off?
Hmm.
But yeah, it had me excited. I was like, man, I haven't checked out No Man's Sky in years. I was like, but this update really intrigued me. I was like, but I have too much on my plate right now to try and play or add another game onto
And
it.
and that's the problem. Like it's a game that it missed its mark. It missed its target, and I think it's gonna pay for that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But Roger, what's going on over in with Ubisoft?
With Ubisoft, well, we already talked about one canceled TV show. Let's talk about another. The TV adaptation of Driver has been canceled, but they are confirming that they're working on another game in their beloved race series. So, like, fans, if they were excited for a game coming, like a TV show for this, too bad, so sad. But at least they can rejoice knowing now that they'll at least get hopefully another installment here soon in the series.
Right, because if I'm not mistaken, according to this list, the last driver game we got was a free-to-play smartphone game from in 2014. So it's been a long time.
Jeez, so not one. We didn't have one. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been some time. I remember playing this series though growing up a lot. Like it was like one of those that was in the mix with like Burnout, Need for Speed, and whatnot. But yeah, overall, good to see that the Ubisoft is still interested in reviving this one, especially because they already have like their other racing game, The Crew. Like the Crew is doing really well, like with Motorfest. So,
Mhm.
but we'll see. We'll see. But let's go ahead and talk about a competitor to Ubisoft, and that's EA. This is just really some stats on college football and then another game. They had over 2.2 million players playing during the early access, and to get the early access, you had to buy the $100 edition of the game. So I mean, if math is mathing, that's a lot of dollars that they just printed and just to be able to play the game 3 days early. I did.
Mhm.
I did the 10-hour trial via EA Play, which came via Xbox Game Pass. So shout out to them. So I was playing it until my copy came because I ordered mine via Walmart. Because with
Mhm.
Walmart you got this nice steelbook.
Mhm.
Um, and interesting enough, like usually like when you bought games, it came in the steelbook, but like mine came with like the OG case and the steelbook.
Yeah,
So I was like, that's even more exciting.
but you only get one disc, right?
Right. Yeah, one disc. So I was like, yeah, that's cool because I like to display mine, my steelbooks,
Yeah.
and then keep the games.
Steelbooks have been that way for a while now. Like the last steelbook I bought was that. That's how it came.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Like all the steelbooks that I have gotten either don't have a game at all. I just bought the case itself, or like it came with the game already in it. Didn't have the regular case.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure this will probably because I pre-ordered Star Wars Outlaws via Target because they're offering the same thing. Like if you pre-order through them, they get a still exclusive steelbook for free, and I'm sure it'll come packaged just like this.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's exciting, and that's just a lot of dollars. And I'm just curious to see like how many people have played this game in general. I do know like they had at least 700,000 people concurrently playing the game at one point. I don't know what it was up to after that, and the fact that this game isn't even available on PC is even more staggering. Like this is all console numbers.
Mhm.
And it's just been really insane. I know a lot of people apparently also been buying like an Xbox Series S to get that 10-hour trial to be able to play as well. So I mean, like the Xboxes have been selling off the shelf, especially Amazon. Apparently they sold out on Amazon, both for I think the Series X did, and the Series S was close. So it's like, man, the only thing that was available was like the refurbished editions, not the new ones. But moving on to one of their other games, and that's FC 25. They did announce a new 5 A-side game mode. This is like one of their new premier games. I'm trying to bring it up. It says rush to aim to bring casual and social gameplay to Ultimate Team. Um, Let me see. It says it's a new rush mode, reskin of the interesting but ultimately abandoned Volta, where Volta was hidden away as an afterthought in a section of the game that nobody played in one of the older ones. Rush is a 5v5 mode in which 4 human players on each side and 1 AI goalkeeper duke it out in a small pitch. Mechanically, Rush uses the exact same movement and physics as the traditional 11 A-side game, simply on a shorter pitch and with half the players. If a player commits a foul, they'll be given a blue card, which will see them sent off the pitch for 60 seconds before being able to return to the action. Offside is only in effect in the attacking third of the pitch rather than the opponent's entire half. Penalties are in the style of the old MLS penalty kicks, wherein instead of a shot from 12 yards away, players face the keeper in a 1v1 situation. During a penalty, the captain of the opposing side is able to control the goalkeeper. So seems like a very like arcade action, like very fast paced kind of soccer game where like you can really run up and down the pitch on a regular FIFA match and like not score, where this seems like this might be a really high scoring game mode as well. So maybe it'd be time to pick up FIFA. I haven't bought FIFA in some time, but maybe I do it now. All right, Roger, let's round out the episode with the some exciting news here, man.
Yeah, so Splitgate, a game that I never really played, but I know you guys played a lot. Splitgate 2 has been announced. Do you have the trailer here for everyone?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm super pumped for this shit. I know me and Marshall, Phil, Bass, Bruno, man, we were playing this shit like all the time. And this game is coming to Unreal Engine 5. But what's interesting about this one, like you'll see in the trailer, like it seems like some of the characters have like different abilities now. Um, and that would really change up like how the game plays on top of like the portal aspect of the game. So maybe there'll be like ways to like shut down the portals, because like what I know Phil and Marshmallow were talking about before was like someone got so good with the portals, like they can just shoot you across the map via all these different portals and get headshots every single time, and it just got real cheesy and it just wasn't fun
Mhm.
anymore. Where like if there's a way to counter all of that kind of stuff, now the game changes all the way. I mean, this is all a cinematic trailer, so who knows how the game will actually look, but I don't think Unreal Engine 5 has really disappointed at all. But yeah, you can see there the different mechanics there, like the deployable portals. You had the deployable shield. You have this like X-ray vision dude that can shoot through stuff, and then this boomerang attachment, this like slow down vortex grenade looking thing. Um, so like there's a lot going on in this trailer, man. A lot of new mechanics I see. That rocket launcher really looks like Halo. Halo's rocket launcher, except it has 3 tubes instead of 2. And then apparently you can split your gun in half, and now you have dual pistols instead of a SMG. But yeah, man, really looking forward to this one. And the fact that I'm sure it'll be free to play just like the first one was as well. And apparently, due to like some of the leaked cosmetics, you'll be able to like take off like your helmet, and you'll be able to see like the character's face. Or not even leaked; it's in the end of the trailer, which I already switched away. But it is coming out in on 2025, coming to Xbox One, Series X and X, PS4, PS5, Epic Games, and Steam. So you'll be able to play this game everywhere. Are you willing to give this a go when this does release next year?
There are too many games out there, my friend. I don't think I will.
Yeah, we'll see.
Honestly, Halo's doing pretty well. I just hate playing in like higher than gold tier Halo, sadly.
Yeah, and then you got to sweat a lot. Yeah, but yeah, man, that's all the gaming news that we got for everybody this week. Any last comments before we close out the episode?
No, thanks for joining us, guys.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for everyone who checked us out live today here on Twitch, and anyone who does check us out later on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. But Roger, where can the community find you at?
Hey, I'll be the same place I always am. It's on Discord.
And you can check me out at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin _. Threads is Mr. Never Chillin. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. If you want a game, party up, hit me up there. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. For any questions, concerns, or if you want to come on the show, hit me up there. And I do stream over on my Twitch at twitch.tv /Mr. Never Chillin, where I'm currently playing through the Dungeons of Finterberg. Maybe I'll even stream some college football here and any of the other games I do decide to play. But we do want to thank everyone again. Until next week, peace.
Press start podcast.